Have you ever wondered why Felix Auger-Aliassime has two last names? Well, both names represent both of his parents' surnames, and the reason will surprise you even further. This is the family of Felix Auger-Aliassime, starting with his father, Sam Aliassime. Just as the Aliassime name continues to spread, thanks to Felix and his sister, the clan itself remains very humble, and that's a fundamental value for the family patriarch Sam. Sam has played a significant role in his son's career from the start, but he still makes an effort to maintain the best tennis relationship with his son. Sam first learned all about tennis in Togo, Western Africa, where he was born. Then, at the age of 25, he immigrated to Canada in 1996. Sam later got married to Marie Auger, a child psychologist, and the two eventually had two children. Malika was born in 1998, and Felix followed a few years later in the year 2000. For a young Canadian athlete, hockey is usually the first option, but somehow Felix preferred tennis. Felix picked up a racket for the first time at the Académie Hérissé Bordelais in Quebec, where his father worked. Sam mentored his son until he was 13 years old before taking over the club, now known as the Aliassime Tennis Academy, in 2018. Sam revealed once in an interview that coaching was also educating. For him, the goal was not just to make tennis champions, but also to make good people. Felix trained with Sam up until the age of 13, and after switching to professional coaches, his game stepped up. His game was simply on another level after that. After making significant improvements to his game, Felix and his parents decided that he would decide on his tennis career after he graduated from high school. He intended to graduate from high school with good grades, then choose between attending university or turning pro, depending on how high his level was. As you might already know, Felix never made it to university, but his performances in junior tournaments were outstanding, so he was set aside.
FAA is flying high.
Tennis turned out to be a sport that Felix and Sam both loved, which brought the two of them closer on many levels. His father's main objective was always been to raise his son to be a successful tennis player first, followed by a good person with solid morals. Together with his wife Maria, it was important to them that he had a very solid foundation. Sam is, however, proud of the person his son has become more than anything. He wouldn't feel as proud if Felix had developed into a great tennis player, but had behaved badly off the court as well. Thanks to Sam's influence, Felix is someone who's extremely generous and humble, and that's helped him to be successful. Felix's generosity was evidenced when he recently followed his father's roots by helping children in Togo. He spent his off-season visiting Togo, his father's country. Since 2020, he has been contributing $5 for each point he makes in effort to support the upbringing and education of children in his father's home country. Felix also teamed up with longtime tennis sponsor BNP Paribas, who matched his donation with $15 per point. The project has benefited more than 2,500 children, 60% of whom were girls. While Sam helped his son to develop his game and carve out a professional tennis career, Marie helped be the balance at home, and she raised him as a compassionate human being and helped him stay grounded. Marie Auger has always been one of those parents whose contribution to their kids' success is significant. She has been frequently spotted in the stands lately, and she was present in Rotterdam when her son won his first ATP title. She was obviously moved when he thanked her in his winning speech.
My family, my team, we've been together for a long time. It's great that my mom is here as well.
She was also prominently featured in Paris when Felix entered Roland Garros' fourth round, his fourth appearance in 4 Grand Slam tournaments. Marie Auger once shared insights with journalist Jessica Lipinski. She claimed that the fact that she didn't raise a tennis player made her even happier when people complimented Felix's moral character and intelligence. According to her, she was there for a child so that he could grow up to be a confident adult. The Canadian was already displaying empathy and compassion at such a young age. While his star is still rising in the world of tennis, he still maintains the values from his upbringing by being modest and grounded. Although his mother has no tennis experience, it is clear that she taught her son the value of family. Marie is also most proud of her son's behavior and values off the court, despite the fact that his abilities on the court are gaining more and more attention. Felix's father was very involved in his tennis development, and she tried to become a balance at home. Marie has good communication with her kids, and they know that they can confide in her. She claims that it is not always easy being the parent of a professional tennis player, but she has grown into the role. When Felix is playing in a tournament or at work, Marie keeps a positive attitude and makes sure he feels supported, but she eventually leaves tennis up to him. Marie does not get to see her son as frequently because Felix is on the road for the majority of the year. Despite the short amount of time she spends with him, their moments together are particularly precious. She occasionally gets to accompany him on trips to tournaments, like the one time she went to Indian Wells with him. It's become something of a family tradition to rent a house during his tournaments and settle in, which she believes fosters a positive environment. Marie acknowledges that Felix's fame can be intimidating. As a parent, she was never exactly ready for her kids to be in the spotlight. It seemed a little strange when she arrived in a city and saw an image of Felix on a bus. However, Felix's parents have been divorced for some years now. But regardless, they are usually seen supporting their son together on multiple occasions to date. In an interview, Felix once commended his parents for enabling him to remain focused and grounded throughout his tennis career. However, the young athlete has also acknowledged that his sister Malika helps him keep up his competitive edge. Malika, who is 18 months older than her brother, also played tennis in her early teenage years. The siblings are quite close to each other, and Felix has referred to his sister as his best friend in the past. Malika was raised in the Quebec City suburb of L'Ancienne Lorette, where she was born on December 28, 1998. She plays tennis just like Felix, and on February 15, 2016, she attained a junior ranking high of 554. She first picked up a racket when she was 6 years old, and not long after, she became a member of the Académie de Tennis Hérissé Bordelou in Quebec City, where she was also coached by her father, Sam. Malika competed in her first professional event at the 2015 Coupe Banque Nationale in September, where she was defeated in the opening round of qualifying. She made her WTA Tour debut at the same competition. She and Charlotte Petrick were given a wild card into the doubles main draw, but they lost to Barbora Krejcikova and Anne-Sophie Mestak in the opening round. Malika always wanted to play in the WTA, and according to her, tennis is not only her passion, but it's also her life, and she's ready to give everything to succeed. She likes to work hard, and she is a perfectionist, and that's what makes her different from others. Felix once explained in an interview that the reason their parents wanted them to have both surnames was so that they could honor their mixed ancestry. Their parents have also encouraged her passion for sports. While the Aliassime family is quite a small one, Felix might be adding someone to the family soon enough. Felix is presently dating equestrian Nina Gabi of Croatia. In March 2021, in an Instagram post, he acknowledged that they had been dating for 2 years. Nina has more than 5,000 Instagram followers, and she can probably expect that number to increase as a result of her boyfriend's success in recent tournaments. Nina has been dating the tennis player for a while, and she isn't shy about sharing her affection on social media. She is a social media influencer and enthusiast who posts her personal pictures on Instagram. On social media, she continues to be frequently active. The desire to gain more fans and friends drives her social media activity. She enjoys the attention that her attractiveness and charming personality draws from fans. Nina also travels extensively, visiting many different nations. She could recall sharing her travel experiences on Instagram. She is able to travel and enjoy herself, thanks to her success and WAG status. She and her boyfriend Felix recently took some time off in the Bahamas, and it just got the fans more excited. Interestingly, Nina is related to Wimbledon quarter-finalist Arla Tomljanovic, an Australian tennis player of Croatian descent. Now it gets even more interesting. Tomljanovic is dating Matteo Berrettini, who has turned out to be Felix's best friend on the tour in the past. Consequently, Felix and Matteo spent time together, which led to the development of their friendship. Felix once talked about how both their girlfriends were cousins in an interview. He claimed that he and Berrettini spent a lot of time together. "He's one of my best friends on the tour, and he's a really great guy," Felix revealed. Could the wedding bells be around the corner for Felix and Nina? We can only wait to see how it unfolds. Enjoyed this family video? Then check out our other videos on the family of famous tennis stars.